When I come through the door, they already on the floor. That's my song, turn it up.
Today at Rustic Waters Homestead, we're going to be making our own laundry soap. So some of the items that we're going to need is your Borax 20 Mule Team. Very important. We're also going to be using the Arm & Hammer Super Washing Soda. Make sure you get the Arm & Hammer Super Washing Soda and not the Arm & Hammer laundry detergent, right? Okay. And then lastly, you're going to need a soap bar. You can either use Ivory soap bar or you can use the Phelps Napsa. Either one of these will be great. Okay? What are we doing next, you say, Annalise? The next thing we're going to do is open up this Phelps Napsa and we are going to grate it. Now the way I grate it is I just use a regular cheese cutter. I'm going to go ahead and grate it down as far as I can. And we're going to be adding it to 2 quarts of warm water, and we're going to be putting it into the pot and melting it down. But for now, we're going to go ahead and grate it. And my little one loves to help me grate these. Just make sure that you help them out so that they don't get cut with a cheese grater. Just like this. Do is add 32 ounces of warm water in the pot. I use a stainless steel pot when I'm doing this because it just works better. I've already gone ahead and shaved all of the soap. If you can take a look at it over there. And we're going to get this warm water in here. And then what are we going to do? Then we're going to add the soap in here into the warm water because we're going to go ahead and get it to melt. While this is melting, you want to stir it so that it doesn't stick and it melts evenly. You want it to you want these shavings to completely melt inside this water.
Yeah.
Can we get it all?
Yeah.
Okay. Good job.
Whoa, that's soap?
Yes, that's soap. So I kind of put it on medium-high while I'm doing it, and I keep an eye on it. While this is melting, I also start the process of getting my bucket ready. We have 5-gallon buckets that we use. My son was nice enough to go outside and clean this up for me. But we are going to fill this halfway up with warm water. Okay, it's about halfway up. It's a 5-gallon bucket. We're going to fill it up halfway up with warm water. And then I'll show you the next step. Add here and had this mixing and mixing and mixing. You're going to see that it's made some bubbles, but it's also all melted down. Okay, my son came in here and started messing around with it. But it's all melted down, so we're going to go ahead and turn this off. And now we're going to move to the next step, which is over in the bucket. So now we're getting to the part where we're filling up the bucket. We've filled it up. We've gotten to the halfway point. We're filling it up with warm water. Now the reason that we're filling it up with warm water is because we're going to be adding our detergents. And they need to be, if the water's warm, they're going to dissolve better. So my recipe, I add 1 cup of the borax. Down, make sure it's in there. Then I also add 1 cup of the super washing soda. Make sure that's in there. And then on top of that, I will add 2 tablespoons of regular baking soda just to help out with the wash. It just seems to help make the clothes a little brighter. Your white clothes brighter, your colored clothes brighter. So then I take a wooden spoon and we're going to go ahead and mix this. Now again, your water should be warm. It's not burning, but it is warm water. Probably bath water, warm bath water. And that's all going to mix in there. Make sure you get all the sides. Mix it nice and well. You should not see any clumps You shouldn't see any clumps of any of the detergents that we just put in here, of the borax or the super washing soda or the baking soda. Now, once this is all mixed in nice and well, we are going to add what was on the stovetop. Now, this is warm, and you can see it was completely dissolved. Okay, it even had some suds going on in there, but this is completely dissolved. What happens is, okay, if you leave pieces like this in there, when you put it in, it's not going to dissolve in the warm water. It's going to stay in there in chunks. So I don't, you know, I think it's a preference. I prefer for it to be completely dissolved than for it to see. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add what we've had in the stovetop. We've melted it completely down. We don't have any chunks left in here. It's going to be added to the bucket. Now, the thing of it is when you're grating, if the soap that you're grating in here, you don't melt it completely down and you leave any chunks in there, probably something like this. If you leave any of these chunks in here, it's going to be fine. You're still going to be able to use a laundry detergent, but then you're going to have chunks in your liquid soap. So it's really going to be a matter of preference, what you want to do or not. I've had it where I've had it done both ways. I prefer for it to be completely dissolved. So I'll take the extra step to make sure that it is completely dissolved. So now we're just going to go ahead and add it in. Okay. All the way in there. And then we're going to do our mixing. This time you're going to want to be a little more cautious because the soap that you just added in is very warm. Okay. And now for the remainder of the bucket, we're going to fill it not all the way to the top. We're going to leave like a good quarter cup, a good quarter of all the way around that's not going to be filled. But we're going to fill it up with warm water. So let me go ahead and take care of that now. Just finished filling it up. Okay, so our soap is ready to use. You're going to see that we filled it up where it needs to be. It's all done with warm water. One last additional step, it's not necessary, but I like to do it, is adding essential oil in there. There are different types of essential oils that you can use, different scents. I particularly use palmarosa oil or palmarosa oil. Now, it has a very strong smell, okay? You don't need to use a lot of it. Probably 5 to 10 drops will go a long way in this bucket here. But one of the reasons why I use this particular oil, I have friends that use lavender oil, lemon oil. There's a bunch of them. The reason I use this particular oil is because this oil is used when you're making deodorants. It is very good for smells, preventing smells. So I use it in our clothes. Again, I use it real lightly because it is a very strong rose smelling oil, but it really helps with the clothes and the odors and the smell. I have 2 teenage boys. They can stink. So I like to use this palmarosa and use it lightly. So I'll just grab my tube and count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've noticed that 10 pretty much does it. And I will go ahead and give it one last mix with the oil in there. Now, this is ready. We're going to put the top over it. You can see everything is nicely dissolved in there. Again, the essential oil is just an additional step if you wish to do it. If not, you can leave it just the way it is and it's going to be an unscented, or it's going to smell like the Phelps naphtha. Just depends on the soap that you use. If you use the Ivory soap bar, it's going to smell unscented. If you use the Phelps naphtha, it's going to smell like the Phelps. But we're going to go ahead and put the lid on it. This is going to sit overnight. By sitting overnight, it's going to let the liquid set. It's going to be almost like a gel-like substance. When I use this, depending on the clothes that I'm putting in there. Again, I have 2 teenage boys. They love to go outside. They work on the homestead. We have our hogs. We have everything that we do out there. But they get dirty. So just depending on how much liquid I need, I usually use about half a cup. Does a great job. When my daughter, my 3-year-old daughter, she's 3 now, but when she was an infant, she was in cloth diapers, and I used to use about a half a cup, and it would be great because it didn't have any of those additional harsh chemicals that you find in the laundry detergents, and I didn't have any issues with her breaking out in rashes, but it worked wonderful for her diapers and her soiled diapers. So we're going to go ahead, find a spot for this to sit overnight, and it'll be ready for us to use tomorrow. Okay, so you might be wondering, why go through the whole hassle of making your own laundry soap? We're a big family. We're a family of 6, and every chance I get, I try to cut corners and save, so that we have money to use for fun stuff. So, making laundry soap, as you saw, it really wasn't that hard, and you just need your 3 basic ingredients, which is going to be your borax, your super washing soda, and then some type of a soap, a Castile soap. In our case, we used a Phelps naphtha. So I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of what we did. When we look at it, a box of borax at Walmart here in my town costs $3.79. It gives us 76 ounces to the box. Well, I used 8 ounces, so that gives us a breakdown of 39 cents. Okay? Our super washing soda costs $4.99. A 55-ounce box. We used 8 ounces of that, so that breaks down to 73 cents. Then the Phelps naphtha soap, or naphtha soap, is 98 cents. We used a whole bar, the entire soap bar for that one. So for the load that we just made, 39 cents plus 73 cents plus 98 cents comes out to $2.11. That made 5 gallons of soap. Okay? 5 gallons of soap, I use half a cup, so 4 ounces. Ends up being about 32, I have about 32 washes in that 5 gallon of soap. So for $2.11, I have 32 loads that I'm coming out. Even when you buy the bargain brand, you're paying at least $8, $10, $12, $13 for the soap. And that's the bargain brand. Much less when you get into the bigger brands that cost more. So, this is one of the reasons why I do this. $2.11, can't beat that. Thanks for joining me at Rustic Waters Homestead. Make sure to like our page, subscribe, leave any comments. Also check out our blog on WordPress. You guys have a great day. Thanks.
Sideways. Yeah.